Every credit card comes with a promise, not spoken directly, not explained honestly, but emotionally understood. Swipe this card, and pressure disappears. Bills feel lighter. Emergencies feel manageable. Life feels smoother. That promise doesn't target logic, it targets anxiety. Fear of not having enough, fear of falling behind, fear of being exposed as unstable. Banks understand something fundamental about human behavior. People don't borrow because they want luxury. They borrow because they want relief, and relief is addictive. The credit card was never designed to remove financial stress. It was designed to convert stress into revenue. The real trick isn't the interest rate printed in small text. It isn't the late fee warnings. It isn't even debt itself. The real trick is the destruction of timing. Credit cards separate action from consequence. You swipe in seconds. The pain arrives weeks later. By then, the emotion that caused the purchase is gone, but the obligation stays. Human brains are wired to respond to immediate feedback. Delayed pain feels smaller, less urgent, easier to ignore. Credit cards weaponize this weakness. Cash hurts immediately. Credit feels painless. That gap is where profit lives. This is why the most important number on your statement is not your balance. It's the minimum payment. That number is not calculated to help you. It is calculated to calm you. If you owe $6,200 and the minimum says $97, your brain reframes the situation. It no longer feels like a $6,200 problem. It feels like a $97 problem, and that illusion keeps people compliant. Minimum payments are engineered to stretch debt across years, sometimes decades. At 22% or 25% interest, most of what you pay goes nowhere. It doesn't reduce the balance. It feeds the system. But banks never explain payoff timelines clearly, because clarity kills consent. If people truly saw how long debt lasts, they would resist. So instead, the system trains people to feel responsible for making minimum payments while hiding the real cost of obedience. This design didn't happen accidentally. In the 1980s, when credit cards expanded rapidly, banks discovered something critical. Customers who paid aggressively were unprofitable. Customers who defaulted were losses. But customers who struggled, those were perfect. They paid interest, they paid fees, they stayed. So rules were softened. Lower minimums, longer payoff periods, more flexibility, not to help customers, but to stretch revenue across time. A person trapped for 15 years is worth far more than one who escapes in 2. That is the trick. And it works best on people who believe they are being responsible. The planners, the workers, the people trying to manage debt. Effort creates loyalty. Loyalty delays resistance. Credit card companies don't compete to help you pay less. They compete to keep you comfortable enough not to leave. Interest rates are buried in fine print. Rewards distract attention. Balance transfers feel like rescue, but balance transfers don't remove debt. They reset the clock. With fees, with deadlines, with penalties waiting quietly. The clock always favors the lender, because time is their asset. Urgency creates mistakes. Mistakes create profit. But there's a deeper layer most people never see. Credit cards don't just profit from balances. They permanently change behavior. Once credit becomes normal, spending patterns shift. People spend more, save less, plan shorter. Money stops being something you have. It becomes something you access. That shift reshapes society. Wages stop growing. Costs rise. Credit absorbs the shock. Rent goes up. Healthcare explodes. Education becomes unreachable. Credit doesn't solve the problem. It delays visibility. And delayed problems don't get fixed. They get financed. This is why credit expands fastest during crises, recessions, inflation, layoffs. When people are weakest, credit becomes most available. Not because banks care. Because fear lowers resistance. And resistance is the only thing that protects people from bad math. The most dangerous part of the system isn't debt. It's hope. Hope that next month will be easier. Hope that income will rise. Hope that things will stabilize. Hope keeps people paying. Hope keeps them quiet. Hope turns exploitation into patience. And patience is the most profitable emotion in finance. The system doesn't collapse when people suffer. It collapses when they understand. Because understanding changes behavior, and behavior is the only threat to this model. That's why financial education stays shallow. Budgeting is taught. Interest mechanics are not. Self-blame is encouraged. Structural awareness is avoided. Because self-blame is silent, and silence pays interest. People are told credit cards are tools, but they are contracts that monetize time, stress, and psychology. By the time someone realizes what's happening, escape feels harder than endurance, which is exactly how it was designed. Have you ever thought about your credit card? Not just as a piece of plastic, but as a system, a massive global system designed with a very specific purpose. And I'm not just talking about convenience. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the credit card system, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you will never look at that card in your wallet the same way again. Most of us think credit card debt happens to people who are reckless or impulsive. But what if I told you the system is actually designed to trap some of the most disciplined and responsible people among us? It's a slow, quiet, and incredibly predictable trap. It doesn't spring on you overnight. It works subtly, month after month, until one day you look at your statement and wonder, how did I get here? The real target isn't the person who maxes out their card on a wild shopping spree. It's the person who diligently makes their minimum payment every single month. The person who carries a balance, thinking they're managing it responsibly. This is the core of the business model. The credit card you hold is the final piece of a massive revenue pipeline. It starts with convenience. Need to book a flight, pay for groceries, make an online purchase. The card is right there, making it seamless. But this convenience is the bait. Once you take it, the system begins to turn your spending habits into profit. The primary engine for this is, of course, the high interest rates. An 18%, 24%, or even higher annual percentage rate isn't just a number. It's a wealth transfer mechanism. When you carry a balance, even a small one, that interest compounds relentlessly, ensuring that a significant portion of your payment goes straight to the bank, not towards your actual debt. But it's so much more than just interest. The system is layered with hidden costs. Think about late fees, over-limit fees, cash advance fees, and annual fees. Each one is a carefully calculated tripwire. You might miss a payment by one day, and boom, a $30 fee is added. Go a few dollars over your limit, and there's another charge. These aren't penalties designed to help you. They are revenue streams. They capitalize on small human errors, turning tiny mistakes into profit. It's a game where the house has set up all the rules to ensure it always wins. Then comes the masterstroke, behavioral manipulation. Credit card companies are experts in human psychology. They know what makes us tick. The most powerful tool in their arsenal, rewards, cashback, airline miles, hotel points, they all sound amazing, don't they? They make you feel like you're getting something for free, like you're beating the system. But what are they really designed to do? They're designed to make you spend more. Studies have shown that people are willing to spend significantly more when paying with a card, especially a rewards card, compared to cash. You chase the points. You justify the purchase because you're earning something back. But the extra amount you spend almost always outweighs the value of the reward you receive. You spend an extra $100 to get $5 in cash back. It's a brilliant psychological trick. Another clever tool is the EMI or equated monthly installment plan. Buy now, pay later. Convert this big purchase into easy monthly payments. It sounds so manageable. It breaks down a daunting price tag into bite-sized, digestible chunks. The problem? It normalizes debt. It encourages you to buy things you can't afford right now by masking the true cost. You're not just paying for the item, you're often paying additional interest or processing fees, stretching out the debt over months or even years. You end up with multiple EMIs running simultaneously, creating a complex web of payments that becomes incredibly difficult to track and manage. You're not just making one monthly payment anymore, you're juggling several, all while the interest clock is ticking. At its heart, the entire credit card system preys on two fundamental human traits: impatience and a lack of complete understanding. We want things now. We don't want to wait and save. The credit card offers instant gratification, and many of us don't take the time to read the 30 pages of fine print in our cardholder agreement. We don't fully grasp how compound interest works against us. The system relies on this. It thrives in the gap between our desires and our financial literacy. It's engineered to exploit our natural human tendencies. And what's the leverage they use to keep us in the game? The credit score. This 3-digit number has become a gatekeeper to our financial lives. We're told we need a good credit score to get a mortgage, a car loan, or even rent an apartment. And how do you build a good credit score? By using credit. So we get a credit card, use it responsibly. But the very tool we were using to build our financial future can become the instrument of our financial downfall. It's a delicate balancing act. The threat of a lower score keeps us making those payments, even if they're just the minimum, keeping us tethered to the system and generating interest income for the banks. So, what's the takeaway here? Is it that all credit cards are evil and you should cut them all up? Not necessarily. The most powerful realization is this: a credit card is a mirror. It doesn't have its own agenda. It simply reflects your own behavior, your habits, and your discipline. If you are patient, if you understand the rules, and if you treat it purely as a payment tool, paying your balance in full every single month, it can offer you convenience and protection without the cost. You use the system without letting the system use you. But if you are impatient, if you let rewards dictate your spending, if you fall into the trap of minimum payments and carrying a balance, the card will reflect that too. It will become a source of stress, a drain on your wealth, and a chain that ties you to a cycle of perpetual debt. The choice between financial freedom and financial servitude isn't decided by the bank or the card itself. It's decided by you, every time you swipe, tap, or click. The system is designed to be a trap, but once you see the layout of the trap, you can choose not to step in it. Understand the game, know the rules, and use the tool for your benefit, not for theirs. Thank you so much for watching. If this video opened your eyes, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate the complex world of personal finance. Let me know your thoughts and experiences with credit cards in the comments below. Stay smart, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.